Well, good evening. Laddies, lazzers, and lazzos, welcome to the click. You smell absolutely astounding today. And don't let anyone else tell you otherwise. Wait, what is that? There is another smell that stands above the rest.
Oh, hello there, Click. It's me, Mr. FacePalm. I'm so happy to be back on this channel.
Oh, wow. Hello there, Mr. FacePalm. I feel totally hinged today. How are you doing?
Man, I'm so glad to be here for a FacePalm video.
Oh boy, well that makes one of us. Welcome everyone to r/FacePalm, one of the beautiful subreddits on Reddit where we have FacePalm moments, kind of like Mr. FacePalm here.
Wow, my entire life is a FacePalm.
Yeah, that's really sad. So I do hope you enjoy it as much as I enjoy being here today. Let's get into it, baby.
Oh, remember to subscribe to the Click. Is really cool.
Thank you. Damn.
Hello!
Selfie.
Oh, you look good. How are you doing, dear?
I farted and blood came out.
Oh, that sucks. What are you up to?
Listening to racist podcasts.
Here's the bikini picture.
The average scammer experience. Oh yes, indeed. Isn't it beautiful? I love seeing this when people are just like pulling scammers along and see how far they will go. It's like, oh, you're farting blood and listening to racist podcast? This is the guy I want to send pics to. Hell yeah, that's believable.
Now, you know what they say? You know what? They all call me the Rizzler for nothing. Give me... There we go, good as new.
I lost my bitch-ass dog again. He's ugly as f*** and keeps running away, but I still love him. Plus, I already bought him, and I don't want to return the stuff. Please bring him back. His name is Senor Woofers. He probably won't respond to it because he's a fake little birch, though. Why does the puppy have a wig? This can't be real. This can't be like a serious poster, right? This has to be a joke.
Stay away from my GF. She don't like you, and you annoy her. Don't message her anymore.
Who is this? And who is your girlfriend?
It's Monica, idiot. What the frick is wrong with you trying to steal someone's girlfriend? Get your own frickin' loser.
Monica F? Like the girl I work with? Like the girl that I message once every few weeks to ask if she can cover my shift?
Yeah, I know how guys work. You act like it's just for work, but I seen the messages. You want the fricker, and I'm telling you to back the frick off before I beat your lonely butt.
Dude, firstly, you're an over-controlling idiot if you criticize every guy she ever talks to, and secondly, how do I put this? I have a boyfriend, as in a relationship, with a guy.
Yeah, of course you do. You just saying that so I don't beat your butt for trying to hit up my girl.
Damn, nothing like a controlling BF playing tough guy over texts with like a random coworker. Oh, what a keeper. He's listening to some alpha male podcasts. Here's a picture of them kissing. This is my boyfriend. We are in a gay relationships. We go on gay dates and we gay kiss each other. We sometimes lay in bed and gay cuddle together. Are you getting the hint yet?
Yeah, I get it, but you really gotta be all up in my face about it?
Oh my god, you came at this dude, threatening to like incite violence on him, right? If he didn't back off your girlfriend even though they speak like once a month. And then he's like, nah, I'm gay. And you're like, I don't believe you. And it's like, here's proof that I'm gay. And it's like, whoa, no one asked for that. Well, but you literally did though. You literally did.
Oh, I got nothing against gay people, but you don't gotta throw your sexuality in my face. Just saying, dude. Bothered emoji.
Am I the only one who finds it a little bit ironic that he's literally like... that he's literally like upset about being gay in his face, but he will like threaten people over social media violently?
Yes, indeed, Mr. Facepalm. Oh, look at that. Absolutely beautiful. Yes, indeed. That is a bit cringe, is it not?
Remote jobs are terrible for your mental health. I want to socialize with everyone. I need to know if the woman in HR is going to get divorced or not.
You're the exact reason the rest of us want to stay home. Okay, to be fair though, I do agree with the first half. I, as an insufferable extrovert, enjoy spending time with people. And one of the things that is the most challenging about being a YouTuber is making sure you have enough people around you that do the same thing, that you can like talk to, relate to, don't feel so isolated in what you do for a living. It's one of the main challenges with doing a job like this, for example. But the last part is probably what makes it seem a bit insufferable. It's like, oh, I need that HR gossip. Yeah, no, like distance work, at least the option to do so, is pretty good, fam. Maybe it can fit here. Great.
Simply Moms. Hey mamas, how do you deal with baby fever? We have 3 girls, but I totally want 1 more. The hubs totally does not. How did you come into agreement with your SO about the number of babies you would have?
I thought we talked about this. Get him drunk and take advantage!
Imagine a guy saying this. This is insane. You went to a Facebook group and just be like, haha, how about crossing intimate boundaries with your partner? That is a nice, healthy way of having like baby talks and that sort of thing. Yes, indeed. Great. There's like 2 levels of unhingedness to stuff like this, right? The first one is that you would do something like this in the first place. Absolutely disgusting. The second thing is that you're like so comedically confident about it that you will also publicly brag about it. Like the lack of self-awareness that you're doing something bad on top of like doubling down on doing something bad is mind-boggling. Oh my god. Never have a partner and never have kids.
Many people lie to themselves about Cavill's attractiveness.
Oh yeah, that he's actually hotter than people claim he is, I suppose.
He used to be cute, had a full head of hair, youthful exuberance, fit.
You're saying he's not fit anymore. Okay.
Now his balding hairline is tragic. Body ruined by steroids. Any traces of old attraction is gone with him being a creepy weirdo gamer.
Oh gee, people's appearance may slightly change in 20 years of life. Who would have thunk it? Also, the worst thing you could do is being a gamer. The wildest thing about people like this to me is that it's okay if you don't find like some particular celebrity attractive or not. Like, who cares? But to be like so aggressive and hateful about it on a public forum blows my mind. Don't you have anything better to do? Holy fuck, man.
Elmo! Happy International Women's Day from Elmo! You have poisoned the minds of young boys for generations, vilifying masculinity and what it means to be a man.
Elmo has vilified masculinity. Okay, that's a new one, I suppose.
May you and your Sesame Street become reduced to a pile of burning rubble. Up yours, vile creature!
It sounds like a priest from, an 80s movie, where it's like, oh no, your mustache is left on the table. There we go. Oh, Christ compels you. It's so wild, man. It's so wild. You know the alpha male sphere is running out of content when they're like attacking Elmo. It's great, isn't it? DeFazio on climate. This is the existential threat to the future of the planet. Insanity. For comparison, the atmosphere on Venus is 96.5% CO2, and the planet is still there. In contrast, Earth's atmosphere is only 0.04% CO2. Is your argument really that Venus is like as habitable as Earth is with its 96.5% CO2? I don't think anyone ever made the argument that the planet is literally gonna blow up if there is a bit more CO2. Like, Venus is hundreds of degrees hot and it's like raining acid and stuff. It's not a very nice location for like, a family picnic, if I put it that way. But this is kind of like how you can skew statistics or just make up strawmen. If I wanted to make an argument as ridiculous, I would say something like, Venus is actually safer than Earth because we've had 0 reported deaths on Venus. So on Venus, you just magically don't die. But of course, the statistic is incredibly flawed because there are no people on Venus to begin with, and for pretty good reason. So arguments like this are pretty silly. No one ever claimed the planet is just gonna explode. There are plenty of planets out there that are very uninhabitable, that aren't like self-detonating out of nowhere. Oh my god, Twitter, man. It's really gone downhill, and that's saying something because it was pretty bad to begin with. The increase of this body type in women seems to coincide with the rise in homosexuality. If you're attracted to this body type in a woman, it could be because the gay culture has gotten a hold of you. Look at these women! Oh, that's so gay! Fellas, is it gay to like women? I mean, if you listen to ancient philosophical alpha male accounts with check marks on Twitter, yes. The answer is mind-bogglingly yes. Lemauna, your opinion is shrimply wrong. Man, I love this picture because it's so trash, but I still love it, just like me. Local schools. I always love seeing the Blorp alumni out and doing well. This young lady, Blorp, has her own apartment and is working 3 jobs. I am so proud of her. Hashtag great things from Blorp. And here's a selfie of this, I don't know who this is, like a teacher or maybe like a principal or something like that with an ex-student that has to work 3 jobs to rent like a 1-room apartment.
Oh, this is great. I'm so happy to see our students working 16-hour days to pay for basic rent. That's great. Wow, I'm so
So proud. I mean, being proud that your students are finding work or whatever, like that's sort of like halfway there, you know, sort of good, but maybe that's not the takeaway in this situation. Writing out this whole paragraph and be like, yay. Without highlighting any of the very obvious glaring issues here is... oh my.
POV, you're pregnant and panicking about how painful labor is going to be. But then you learn about God's brilliant design for childbirth, and we realize your body was designed to block pain receptors during labor.
Oh, the brilliant design of nature, indeed. Yeah, okay. I do believe there is a similar thing to this, but it has more to do with like memory and recollecting how painful it actually was. I think it's like an evolutionary thing, so you would be willing to go through more pregnancies potentially in the future, which is pretty wild. Thanks for that one, nature, I suppose. But I don't think this is quite it. Nah. Being an independent contractor sucks for a lot of reasons, but it also offers you the unique ability to tell people to frick off in delightful ways.
Hi, Caleb. I was just informed you weren't on the morning stand-up call this morning. How come?
Yeah, dude. I was asleep. I basically never join these.
Going forward, morning meetings are a requirement for employment at Blorp. I expect you to be on the next call tomorrow at 9 a.m. EST.
Man, that sucks for you guys, but I'm not an employee. My contract says nothing about required hours or daily meetings.
You really need an attitude adjustment. If you aren't on the next call, you're fired. Your choice.
You can fire me if you want, but you guys have to pay me through the 18th of next month regardless. So I am definitely sleeping in tomorrow. Enjoy your meeting. You guys ought to read the contracts you have assigned sometimes. Pretty wild stuff in there.
Please call me.
No! Oh, this is so satisfying. This is like the dream scenario for everyone who's ever dealt with like a really annoying boss. Oh, that is so beautiful. This just healed some kind of like bad workplace PTSD for everyone listening. Oh, that's so beautiful. I have several friends in contractor roles, and there is also that one mid-manager employee who plays "you're part of the team and family" BS to get extra work out of them or make them attend useless internal meetings. They also shut it down by pointing out that if you're going to treat me like an employee, then you better start paying for my benefits too. Shuts it down pretty quickly. Ooh, that's a good way. That's just turning it around, and then they're probably not very willing to have the conversation. Oh, that is beautiful.
We left Deadpool 3 25 minutes into the movie. Blasphemy against the Lord.
Oh my god, I went to the movies, and I didn't like it for some reason. Because it's blasphemy. When your life is so easy, you have to make up problems. Jesus Christ, fam. 5 stars. I am not an art enthusiast, but this gallery has some interesting pieces. I didn't really get most of them, but it was a nice visit.
Thanks for the clueless feedback. Having someone who doesn't appreciate art review our gallery is like a donkey reviewing a symphony. Next time, stick to your finger paintings. You're not welcome back.
Did you just call your paying customers donkeys? Oh, that is amazing. You know, one thing that I realized, especially when I was working a lot with music and like writing music and producing and that sort of thing. Check out my second music channel, by the way. It's very cute and adorable. The thing that you realize after a while is that most people that listen to it are not gonna be like, you know, super invested musicians. Most people listening to stuff are normies. Most people that go to museums and stuff are normies. You know, most people are like relatively casual enjoyers of most media they consume. There is always just a minority in every field that is listening to it as a professional or whatever you want to call it, you know? And that is perfectly fine and perfectly what you should be expecting, right? So being like this and basically insulting, I don't know, 95% of your potential like consumer base is absolutely insane. Oh my god, fam.
All women are designed by God to have their first kid at 16.
Oh my god, is a trash take about like age and stuff on Twitter. Who would have thunk it?
When their hormones are high and bones are the most elastic for less painful birth.
Bones are the most... Okay,
All women would be happier if they got married at 16.
Yeah, you sure about that?
This gives them a lot more years with their kids and keeps them from aging rapidly.
Stuff like this reminds me a lot of when people say, for example,
Women were so much happier back in the 50s because the divorce rates were lower.
but of course they forgot to mention the fact that women like literally couldn't open bank accounts for themselves and were super dependent on men systematically and personally. So of course divorce rates were gonna be lower because your alternative is like literally being thrown to the street. So of course people aren't gonna divorce when that is the case. When you add freedom on top of it, of course the divorce rates are also gonna go up, but that is actually a good thing because it allows people to be happier and have more individual freedom. So those kind of statistics are always very skewed and always tell like only half the story. And I get the feeling that these sort of creeps are using like similar rhetoric that is really weird, like elastic bones to try to justify some creepy fantasy. Oh my god, man.
This gives them a lot more years with their kids and keeps them from aging rapidly.
What do you mean more years with their kids? But what?
In a Catholic theocracy, depression would not exist.
Back in the Dark Ages, we didn't have any statistical studies about depression, so it wasn't real. Goody. Working a job with white men made me realize some of them not racist. They just hate their life and everybody. This reminds me of that fucking coffee mug that says like, I'm not racist, I hate everyone or whatever. It's just that, but as a tweet. Ladies form a mound after getting pounded and used time after time. I see we're starting off this little essay in a classy manner. AKA the pitching mound where a bunch of men have gone to bat. This is a surefire way to tell if your girl is a virgin or has low mileage. Okay, I'm not sure if we can show this picture, but basically they're trying to insinuate that like if you have a little bump on the bottom of your tummy, essentially that's a sign of like lack of virginity. Oh my god. Some scientists, that I'm not gonna reference, but some scientists indeed, believe old splooshies can be stored in the mound for up to 20 years. You know, camels with their lumps where they store like water and that kind of stuff and fat or whatever. It's like that, but with male splooshies. Did you know that women are like camels, but about sex? The more you know. Man, I love Twitter science. Thank me later, clap. I'll skip that part, thank you. Where do people like this actually find these facts? It's absolutely astounding. I think it's kind of just like a circle jerk. At this point, like one person makes up some random bullshit, and then another person picks it up and references the first dude, and then he adds some bullshit to it as well, and then that comes back to the first dude that adds a bit more bullshit, and you just have this circle of just made up stuff. But if enough people are saying it at the same time, then it becomes true. What a beautiful system. Yes, indeed. Online science. Gotta hate it. You will never know want or loneliness again, Trump said. The world was cruel to you, but you have Trump now. Sweet AI bunny. Don't worry. Daddy Trumpy Wumpy has yours. Oh my god. You know, there is this actual concept in like data management and statistical studies, right? That if you follow like data and how it has evolved over the years, the problem in the very beginning was always just to have data, because literacy and printing and all that kind of stuff and how you spread it was very low and very difficult. Then it started progressing and all of a sudden you had data, you had printing, and then eventually the internet came along. And nowadays we instead have the problem that data is incredibly abundant. Like there is data and information about everything and it's always overwhelming. So now the challenge isn't how you spread things, now the challenge is how do you filter out the crappy stuff. And my god, it feels like it has just accelerated over the past couple of years. Almost everything I see, if I just like go away from, for example, specifically looking at the people I follow on Twitter and look at like the recommended for you, all of it is trash. All of it is absolute garbage. And if you go into the replies, it's just reply bots, because now it's monetized apparently. So they're just spamming unrelated memes on meme pages, or it's like checkmark accounts just spreading like the most unhinged opinions, because checkmark accounts are apparently like prioritized in replies. So I don't know, nowadays it feels like everything is just accelerating very worryingly. Let's just go out in the woods and live with the raccoons, at least they don't spread political misinformation. NBC News. Lawyer for megachurch pastor blamed a 12-year-old for initiating inappropriate naughty conduct. Ooh, what a twist! Your Honor, did you know that it was the 12-year-old that was the creep? In fact, he was the one coming on to me. So you should arrest the 12-year-old. He was the bad one all along. This is actually the defense they try to use. Holy crap, man. Like, you think victim blaming is bad. Try like turning the victim into the perpetrator when they're 12. Jesus Christ, that is insane.
Fox News. Touchdown. Taylor Swift lands in Baltimore ahead of AFC Championship, yet belches ton of CO2 emissions.
Oh, she did it. She got Fox News to care about carbon emissions. Yeah, I think that's sort of a thing. One thing I've noticed with the argumentative climate, especially online and in media nowadays, is that it's not so much what you're arguing about, it's more like, is it attached to a person that you have decided that you don't like? It's kind of an interesting concept, is it not? German police attitude to eco-warrior gluing his hand to the road. Finding it difficult to remove his hand, they dug up the part of the road his hand is stuck to and released him. Sort yourself out now. Brilliant. Oh my god. How is that even gonna come? You have to like hammer your hand out. That is nuts. A man walks into a bar with a piece of asphalt glued to his hand. The man walks up to the bartender and says, "A beer please, and one for the road." You can't be mad at me, I'm not the one who made the joke, I just highlighted it, okay? It's okay.
I have great-grandchildren. I don't vote for them to have a better world. I will be long gone. I vote so I can live in the world I want to live in.
That is absolutely amazing. 17 likes. 17 people are, yeah, I can get along with this message, great grandma. Screw those grandkids. What blows my mind the most, if this is a real person, which I seriously fucking doubt, but if they are a real person, it blows my mind. It's like, I'm gonna have children and make sure they have a worse world to my benefit or whatever. That is amazing. I'm assuming like the AI Jedi image and the checkmark means it's fake. I would say 90% fake.
Thing a girl can do in bed.
Oh, discharge.
Wait, what?
That's not the word.
What? Actually, that's so natural.
Oh no.
Discharge comes out. Wait, what?
That's my favorite.
Wait, what?
That's my favorite.
Wait,
Man,
what?
I ain't gonna lie, I had a girl discharge on me. I was like, what is this? Like, what?
Okay, what did it look like? What's discharge to you? What was? No, it's okay. It's natural. What did it look like? Was it white discharge? Because that's totally normal.
Yeah, it was a bunch of white stuff.
That's totally normal. You don't like that?
I mean, I don't know. It was like my first time seeing that, so I was like...
And that's the worst thing a girl can do in bed?
Oh, he's backpedaling now.
Because it like ruins the whole thing because then she gets shot.
I wonder why. Man, this is really a facepalm moment, if I may say so. Oh, that's right, Mr. Facepalm. It really is a facepalm moment, isn't it? I mean, Jesus, if you could ask this question, even if you're a bit unsure about the female anatomy, so to say, you can just go with like a safe bet. It's like, oh, I hate it when she pulls out a knife or whatever, you know? But I think maybe like the Venn diagram between not knowing women's anatomy and thinking you know women's anatomy is pretty much a circle. So there's also that scientific aspect to it.
It's been 3 years. Shouldn't all the unvaccinated be dead by now?
This meme was brought to you by Musky Husky. This is also one of those things that just make me completely lose hope in like humanity's collective intelligence. I don't think this was ever the argument. Like, do you realize how few people have to actually be sick or pass away for like infrastructure to like literally collapse? I saw this post on Reddit the other day, for example, that asked a question like, oh, what would happen if all men disappeared? Or something like that. Like, what would happen? Well, society would collapse. And it's not because the men disappear. You would have the same effect if all women disappeared, or, you know, if any portion of the population that is, like, significant enough would disappear. And it doesn't have to be, you know, 50% or anything close to it. A relatively small portion of the population could disappear, and you would have absolute collapse in so many sectors of how society actually functions. So, that is, like, the concern, and also like the load on the system of taking care of people that get sick and that sort of thing. That's always been the concern. Not that like everyone who doesn't get a specific vaccine is literally going to die. That has never been the argument really about anything, I think. A day off. So you want the day off. Let's take a look at what you're asking for. There are 365 days per year available for work. There are 52 weeks per year in which you already have 2 days off per week, leaving 261 days available for work. One thing I also find very funny that I want to point out about how this is formulated is that they're telling it kind of like you have 2 days that you're stealing from the company of your week, not that they're paying you for the 5 days that you're there. You know, it's very like glass half full sort of thing. But anyway, leaving 261 days available for work. Since you spend 16 hours each day away from work, you have used up 170 days, leaving only 91 days available. You spend 30 minutes each day on coffee break, that accounts for 23 days each year, leaving only 68 days available. With a 1-hour lunch period each day, you have used up another 46 days, leaving only 22 days available for work.
Wait, what? Wait, hold on. Wait, that math escalated really quickly. Hold on, what?
You normally spend 2 days per year on sick leave. That leaves you only 20 days available for work. Okay. So when you're sick leave, because here's the thing about this math, right? Apart from just botching the lunch break completely, because we went from 90 days to 20 days with a 1-hour lunch break, which is wild. One thing they have done here, which is very important to point out, I believe, is that they have counted 16 hours away from work. So those 90 days are already counted as 24-hour days, okay? So those 90 days are not 8-hour work days. That's 90 days of 24/7 work, okay? That's how they have mathed this out. And then they take like 2 days sick leave, which would in practice only make you miss 16 hours of work, but they take away 48 hours from their total count when doing this math. That's just an interesting thing I felt was important to point out about this absolutely botched text. We are off for 5 holidays per year, so your available working time is down to 15 days. Same problem with the math here, of course. Those 5 holidays is only like 5 days that are 8-hour work days that you're missing out on, but they have deducted a total of 24 hours per 5 days, which is 120 hours. So all of a sudden, you're not like missing 40 hours, you're missing 120 hours all of a sudden. So like the math is not mathing. We generously give you 14 days vacation per year, which leaves only 1 day available for work, and I'll be damned if you're going to take that day off. Okay, with the ending, okay, now I'm starting to believe this is satire. This is like a joke of a crappy boss. It has to be, because with that conclusion, like when we started getting down to 90 days and stuff, I was like, okay, this could be like some serious toxic boss trying to twist math and stuff, but the ending, you don't get down to 1 day in that ridiculous conclusion and be like, yeah, this is serious. So 90% sure this is a joke, but it sort of has a point with some attitudes I've seen in certain workplaces. Today in my classroom, I had a soon-to-be teacher observe me in my classroom for 2 hours. She was my age, she did not have a bachelor's degree, her husband did 4 years in the military 30 years ago. The state of Florida gave her a 5-year teaching certification because she's married to a veteran. She was a waitress, she starts teaching 3rd grade next week, and the only thing she had to do to get this teaching certification was to observe certified teachers in their classroom for a total of 12 hours. Okay, so not even checking they actually know anything about the subject they're gonna teach, or, the bare minimum, It's just, look at a couple of classrooms, and you'll be good to go. She had to ask me what I meant by phonetic spelling, reading fluency, and mathematical operations. Oh, what an absolute disaster. No. Okay, to some extent, you can use educational material to your benefit when you're a teacher, right? For example, when I used to tutor math, it was quite easy to get into like the specific math stuff the students were doing, even if I hadn't done that specifically recently or knew it by heart, because I know enough math in general that I could just get into whatever was in the book they were reading right now, currently, relatively easily, right? So in that way, you can use guiding material in a relatively easy manner to get into specifics. But that requires you to understand enough about the subject overall to like know what this is, put it into context, and also explain it to people that are reading it for the first time. This does not sound promising at all.
Stop calling it autism. It's vaccine brain injury.
Yes, indeed, that academic term.
And stop calling it side effects. It's poisoning.
So it's vaccine poisoning brain injury. What a mouthful. Doesn't really roll off the tongue, doesn't it? Man, imagine if you just had a little fountain and emptied your trash can into it. That's how much garbage you're spreading right now. Look at you go. 6,000 likes. 6,000 people saw this and be like, yeah, vaccine brain injury. That's what it is. People, man.
Men who don't wear jackets in cold weather do so with the express intent of intimidating women and to make women feel like lesser beings.
What? What? If I'm just warm and not wearing a jacket, that's with the express intent of being intimidating. It's not that I'm just minding my own business and I don't put like sweat marks under my arms or something. Okay.
If you see a man who is not wearing a jacket when you're cold,
Okay, so it's not about like being cold in general, it's just because you're cold. Okay.
Then call him out on his toxic masculinity and ego violence.
Okay, but if your whole takeaway about this is to go up to these people and be like super Karen-esque, maybe they weren't that intimidating to begin with for just not wearing a jacket. Man, this is just some Karen main character stuff, isn't it? It's not even about the general temperature. And even if it would still be an insane thing because people respond differently to temperature and have different heat and that kind of stuff in their body. But it's about if you're cold, other people are not allowed to not wear jackets as well. If I wear a jacket, everyone else has to wear a jacket as well. That is just a different level of unhinged. My God.
Holy cow! The mRNA whack is creating a new dragon species of human called raves. Women are already growing scales in their vajayjays. Like I've said, whatever you do, do not have intercourse with anyone who may have been jabbed. Wow!
Okay. That sounds pretty badass, not gonna lie. You become like a D&D Dragonborn if you just get a vaccine. That sounds pretty nifty. Are you sure about that? That sounds like something that would be really expensive to achieve.
Women are growing scales
in their vajayjays. I swear to God, not even my D&D adventures I usually hold when we're all like drunk are this unhinged. And that should tell you something.
What the frick is this liberal bullshit? It's beach volleyball and these birches have leggings on. Are you freaking kidding me? Throw a bikini on and let the rack bounce. What the frick is this? Some gay shite.
Ah, yes, that liberal conspiracy where people wear pants sometimes. Oh. This isn't even valid criticism, since most of the teams were actually wearing bikinis. This game was played in the evening and probably was cold, and that's the reason they are wearing pants. Also, the same athletes 2 days later wore bikini bottoms and sports bras. The only ones who seem to be wearing different attires are of the Brazilian teams, who prefer shorts instead of bikini bottoms, and the Egyptian team, who are wearing full-body sports suits, shirts, shorts, and are covering their hair. And for some reason, these specific Olympic Games these years have just like made Twitter and social media explode with some of the most like heinous shit I've seen in a while. It's absolutely amazing. Oh my God. 25% off any bike purchased of $250 or more, 50% off any bike purchased of $500 or more, or 100% off any bike purchased of $1,000 and more. So all the expensive bikes are just for free. Is that what this means? Is this on purpose?
The most expensive bike is $950.
That would actually be like a double twist. You think it's a FacePalm and they're like mistakenly giving away stuff for free, but then the plot twist is that nothing actually costs that much. It's just marketing. JK.
Could any picture sum up our new men's right movement better? The smirk of a male who knows he is protected by a misogynist sporting establishment, enjoying the distress of a woman he just punched in the head, and whose life ambition he just shattered. Hashtag Paris 2024.
Speaking about the Olympic Games making Twitter freak out, isn't it absolutely beautiful? There are a couple of things about this picture, okay? Both people in this picture are cis women. That's the first part. And the second part is like framing this as some kind of like abuse or battery or crime. You know they're professional fighters, right? That step into this ring consensually and have at it because that is literally the sport they do. And they're both cis. This is insane.
The face of a cheater.
Oh my God, trans women in women's sports. This is so astounding. The person also comes from a country where being trans is literally illegal. That is absolutely wild. For being people that are so outspoken about women's rights, which I don't think they are on board with either, it's kind of wild that you would go so far to harass someone with these allegations when they're from a country that would be illegal and you're potentially putting a cis woman in actual danger. That is wild to me. That is wild. It's so hypocritical.
An absolute travesty at the Olympics, forced to box against a biological male. She quits at...
Again, this is insane.
You thought the bar for Twitter was low. Well, it is now in hell.
And not even the cool hell, like the bad hell, not the one where these little babies are from, like the bad one.
Jesus Christ, answer me this.
Are you just asking Jesus on Twitter? Okay, anyway.
Answer me this. What reason do I have to not attack and do awful things to women if I'm going to be treated like that's my intention either way? Okay? Not trusting the good of men is what puts you in the danger of bad men.
Is this the same people? They're just like, atheists, if you don't believe in heaven, what's keeping you from being an awful person? It's like, you just kind of told on yourself a little bit, did you? Like, I need threat of eternal damnation, otherwise I'm not gonna be a decent person. That's not being a good person. That's just being coerced into being a good person. Oh my god. And speaking as a male, of course, my experience with the whammons is not that people go around and just assume like you're a horrible person for no reason whatsoever. But that is, of course, very different from, I'm assuming, what this person is trying to talk about. Like, if you're, for example, walking home alone at night and there's someone else on the street that is like bigger and stronger than you are, and you don't know what their intentions are because they're a complete stranger. Or are they following you because they happen to live on the same street, or are they following you for nefarious reasons and trying to get you alone and trying to jump you when no one else can see? You simply do not know, and that is the scary part of it. And I think simply understanding that on an empathic level is a pretty basic thing to do, and this person is unhinged.
Never forget when I lived in Florida. I was talking to this guy and found out he had a GF. I found her Insta, messaged her, we met up, took a selfie and posted it to frick with him. He screenshotted the selfie, posted it on his Insta and said,
both my girls looking good for real. I guess he knew he was toast, so he was just trying to get one last meme in or something. Oh my god, man. The Olympics did the South Park meme. Oh my god, South Park predicts reality. This is the same kind of thing as I talked about before. Person one says something outrageous that isn't even true. Second person believes it, keeps adding stuff, and then it just circles. It just escalates. But it doesn't come from anywhere. There's no, like, actual source for the beginning. It's just like a game of telephone, but it goes in a circle. And it's a very hateful game of telephone. Who is weird now? And here's a, I don't know, AI picture of Joe Biden, I think. Like, being completely ripped in a shower. Trying to, like, make arguments on Twitter with, like, AI pictures. Like, would an AI draw you in your undies if you weren't a perv? It's like, well, you told the AI to make a picture of me in my undies. No. Italian right-wing prime minister reacts to two girls kissing at the Olympics. It's like a grumpy stare. Man, the amount of memes and stuff coming out of the Olympics is absolutely astounding. My favorite so far is all the stuff to come out of the Target shootings. It's so freaking beautiful. People are making like anime posters of the people participating and stuff. It's so cool. Those are the cool memes. And then you have the trash.
My uncle died from cancer last week. He worked for Freedom Mortgage and they denied him medical leave when the man was dying. All week they've been calling and FedExing him letters threatening his job because he didn't show up for work. Because he was dead!
At this workplace, we are a family or whatever. The earth is flat. Research it or ask me. I mean, this is a pretty good bumper sticker because I know that this person is going to be insufferable to talk to, so I'm just going to, like, walk around it. That's very nice. The future of their delusion. Ha! Laughing with my robot GF. 6 feet tall, 6-pack abs, 6 figures. Oh no, crying and begging for a 666 man. But I already have my robot wife. Which is kind of ironic. I have my robot AI wife in an AI-generated picture. It's kind of Inception-wise, isn't it? The future. Oh my god, I swear to god, social media is just a complete detriment to the dating scene, isn't it? Real women are disappointing compared to anime girls. Speaking of social media being a detriment to the dating scene, first of all, there's appearance. How many 3D women actually look cute? This can't be a serious post. Most of them wear men's clothes and get ugly tattoos or piercing and haircuts. Then when the clothes come off, you at least expect to see cute personal parts, but are greeted by disgusting roast beef, blurg, and their behavior isn't much better. They are drinking, smoking, cursing, doing drugs, burping, farting. Like, has anyone ever taught them manners? Imagine going on a date with what you believe is a cute lady and she starts talking about her last poo. No, okay, if someone actually did that on the date, that would be a bit weirded out, to be honest, but I'm gonna take 500 for the stuff that never happened. Also, there is a distinct lack of naughty morals among real-life women. Among 3D women. It's rare to come across a virgin who saves herself for her soulmate. Okay, I see. Here's a bit of a trick question, assuming this person is actually a real person, is posting seriously. You're saying they have to save themselves for their soulmate, right? But how would they know you are their soulmate after just a first date? And I think you would also be upset by the way you speak about women in this post if they didn't put out on the first date. So you're asking them for something impossible. They can't do both at the same time. I mean, I think expecting this that you're asking for is unhinged to begin with, but, even if you were to follow the logical route about these expectations, they are literally impossible. You do realize that, right? Most 3D women have high mileage, and that is frankly disgusting. Seriously, 3D girls need to step up their game. Yes, indeed. For me, the peak of humanity, to choose you, dear 3D woman, you have to step it up so you can compete with my 2D anime waifu pillows or whatever. Yes, indeed, you have a high standard to try to reach. Yum. Iman's next opponent, the Hungarian Luca, posted this on her Instagram story. Jesus Christ. Paris 2024, and there's a picture of La Petite Woman with boxing gloves and a big demon with boxing gloves. Both of these athletes are like the same size, man. This is so weird. This is so weird.
People with no kids, who turn your lights off and hand y'all the remotes?
I tell Google to turn the lights off and my remote is on the other end of the table next to where I sit. It's 2020. Stop using your crotch fruit as employees. Well, that's a brand new sentence. Crotch fruit employees. Blondes 17 or 18, approach me if you're 17, which is the age of consent in Illinois, and you also live in Illinois, or 18 if you live in a different state, and you find me physically attractive and want to have a one-night stand or be friends with benefits. I am big, handsome man who is 6'4", big-boned and broad shoulders, with straight, thick, dark brown hair, deep-set almond-shaped hazel eyes, and A-angled eyebrows, a straight, long, and narrow, upturned nose, downturned lips, and a triangle face shape, was born in 1998. I am shy, have social anxiety, and Asperger's. Isn't that an outdated term? Anyway, I am mostly attracted to blondes, and I want my first time to be with one who's the youngest legal age possible, which is 17 if we both live in Illinois, or 18 if we live in different states, because it's illegal, even if you're also a minor, to travel interstate or internationally to have naughties with minors and to transport minor to your... There is not a single punctuation in this post. I just realized there are just a couple of commas. It's like a long run-on sentence talking to himself on his shirt about the age of consent. This is an incredibly wild thing to wear in public. Interstate or internationally to have naughties with minors, or to transport minors to your state, or to persuade, induce, entice, or something I can't read, minors to travel interstate regardless of the age of consent in each state to other okay, there are different ways to get dates and stuff like that. This is definitely not one of them. Printing a shirt where you have a run-on sentence where you rant about the age of consent is a bad idea. Generally a bad idea. What? Hello! Thank you for reporting R-word N-words. 1488, which is also like a dog whistle, and for using your voice to make Twitter better for everyone. After review, we want to let you know that R-wording N-words Nazi whistleblow hasn't broken our sensitive media rule. What a goodie. This wholesome little account is probably slang or something from another country. Has to be, right? Right? Well, laddies, lasses, and lasses, I do hope you enjoyed this video as much as I did. Sadly, little Mr. FacePalm, he sort of fell apart a bit. There was too much FacePalm for him. But I do hope you did, so welcome to the secret message at the end of the video. Hello. I do hope to see you in the very near future, you wonderful, beautiful being. Have an amazing rest of your day, and I will see you in the very near future. Take care. Mwah.